Benjamin at Work, Episode 14, Dynamic Programming.
Welcome to episode 14 of Benjamin at Work at Plain Space Design. I have a few announcements to make. First of all, this is going to be the last two episodes coming up in this season. And so now I'm at a crossroads where I have to decide, what am I going to do next? I have an idea about what I want to do in this episode. The next episode I'm not so sure about, but I think what I'm going to do is try to create something of a cliffhanger for you as a preview of what is going to be coming up in the next season. But tonight we're going to knuckle down. We're going to start digging in deep into the business operations of Plain Space Design, not just the things that I'm doing, but telling more about the methods and processes that I use, exposing how I am doing the things that I'm doing. And I think you will find this interesting. And in the process, it will help us to develop our causality analysis that I think is going to take center stage from this point out. In any event, enjoy tonight's episode.
If you are wondering how the patent is going, I'm happy to report that it is finished. The next step is to hand it over to a patent attorney so that they may put spit and polish on it and submit it on our behalf to the Patent and Trademark Office. For those who are not familiar with what dynamic programming is, then this is being done for your benefit. I'm going to explain to you the concepts and how they are used in businesses and other practices, but primarily in this company, Plain Space Design. If you could look inside of my head and see my dreams, this drawing is a representation of what you would probably see. This is the ideal business model. And this model shows that you have money going inside of my company and generating or causing production, and the products that come out goes to the customers, and then the customers contribute money to the company, and this money goes back into the production. And this ideal model just keeps going round and round and round. Money coming in, products going out, customers paying money. This is the ideal model. And if you can look inside of my dreams, that is what you would be seeing. If you can peer inside of my mind during my waking hours, when I am dealing with the staunch realities of the business world, then this is what you would probably see. A slightly different ideal, because there is this little thing up here with the W in it. That box represents the way that disturbances can enter inside of my business operation and disrupt it, cause it to go wrong, hurt the products, make the customers unhappy, and reduce the amount of money that is fed back into the business through the money machine down here. This is where we will begin to discuss the causality, because it is the causality that can explain why these disturbances are unwanted and what we can do when they start to happen. And most of all, it gives us a chance to point the finger at someone because you see, it wasn't my fault. Okay, so now let's take a look at what causality is. According to the Dictionary of Physics, published by Penguin Books, the third edition, which was published in the year 2000, this is causality. The principle that every effect is a consequence of an antecedent cause or causes. For causality to be true, it is not necessary for an effect to be predictable, as the antecedent causes may be too numerous, too complicated, or too interrelated for analysis. And there were some other words about this that related to quantum mechanics, which we will probably get into maybe in a future episode. But for our understanding of what goes on in my business, how I apply the principle of causality to understand the disturbances, well, this definition is enough. And to put it into layman terms, it is the fact that everything has a cause. Everything that happens was caused by something. And you can observe that in most cases in daily life, that if someone flips a coin, then that gives them an option of choosing heads or tails. But that option would not exist without the flip of the coin. So everything has a cause. Let's try to construct an example of something that might represent causality using this Penguin Dictionary of Physics that I just read the definition from. I had to rebind this book. And how did I do it? I took every page out of the book. I took the entire book apart, page by page, and I soaked each page in bleach. And then I put each bleached page out in the sun. What caused me to have to do that? Well, the pages had mildew marks on it. And why did the pages have mildew marks on it? Because this book was left out in the rain. And why was it left out in the rain? Because of a disturbance. That little W thing there coming into my company. And so that is how causality could help us trace down the causes of problems. A rebinding job that I may not have had to do if events were different. That is the end of this episode of Benjamin at Work at Plain Space Design. Tune in for the next episode where you can help me plan what's going to happen in Season 2 if you're in the mood to do that. Thank you.